Cinderella was a young girl who lived with her stepmother and two stepsisters. After her father passed away, Cinderella's life became difficult as her stepmother was unkind and treated her as a servant. She had to clean, cook, and serve her stepsisters, who always demanded more and more. Cinderella remained kind-hearted and hopeful, dreaming of a better life, even though she faced so many challenges daily. One day, the entire kingdom was buzzing with exciting news. The king announced a grand royal ball at the palace. The prince was looking for a bride, and all the young women of the kingdom were invited to attend. Cinderella's stepsisters were thrilled and spent hours preparing their dresses and hairstyles, hoping to impress the prince. Cinderella, however, was told she could not go and had to stay at home. Cinderella watched her stepsisters and stepmother leave for the royal ball with a heavy heart. She wished she could join them and meet the prince, but she had no suitable dress or shoes to wear. As she cried alone, a soft, magical light appeared around her. Suddenly, a kind fairy godmother stood before her, ready to help. The fairy godmother promised to make Cinderella's dreams come true. With a wave of her wand, the fairy godmother transformed Cinderella's old rags into a beautiful dress. It sparkled with magic, and Cinderella was amazed by her new look. Then, the fairy godmother made a pair of glass slippers for her. They were the most beautiful shoes Cinderella had ever seen. Cinderella was finally ready to attend the royal ball, feeling like a true princess. But Cinderella needed a way to reach the palace. The fairy godmother, with her magic, turned a pumpkin into a grand carriage. She also changed some mice into horses to pull the carriage, and a lizard into a coachman. Cinderella was overjoyed and thanked her fairy godmother, but the fairy had one important warning: Cinderella must leave the ball before midnight, or everything would turn back to normal. Cinderella arrived at the royal palace in her magical carriage. Everyone was stunned by her beauty, and she quickly caught the attention of the prince. He invited her to dance, and they spent the evening together, laughing and talking as if they had known each other forever. Cinderella felt like she was living a dream, and she couldn't be happier. The prince couldn't take his eyes off Cinderella, and they danced through the night. Cinderella forgot all her worries and enjoyed the magical evening. The other guests were curious about this mysterious girl in the sparkling dress. Her stepsisters did not recognize her at all, as she looked completely different from her usual self. Just as Cinderella was deeply immersed in the joy of the evening, the palace clock began to strike midnight. She remembered her fairy godmother's warning. Panicking, Cinderella quickly excused herself and ran out of the ballroom. The prince was shocked and tried to follow her, but she was too fast. In her hurry, Cinderella left behind one of her glass slippers. Cinderella managed to get into her carriage and rushed home, but as the clock struck midnight, the magic faded. Her beautiful dress turned back into rags, and the carriage became a pumpkin again. She returned home with only one glass slipper as a reminder of her magical evening. She hid the slipper carefully, cherishing the memory of the prince and the night at the palace. The next day, the entire kingdom was buzzing with talk about the mysterious girl who captured the prince's heart. The prince found Cinderella's glass slipper and decided to search the kingdom for its owner. He declared that he would marry the girl whose foot fit the slipper perfectly. Messengers were sent out, and every girl in the kingdom was invited to try on the slipper. When the prince's messengers arrived at Cinderella's home, her stepsisters eagerly tried on the glass slipper. They each hoped to win the prince's heart, but the slipper did not fit either of them. Cinderella watched from afar, knowing the slipper was hers. Her heart pounded as she waited for her chance, hoping to prove that she was the girl the prince had been looking for. Finally, Cinderella gathered her courage and stepped forward to try on the slipper. Her stepsisters laughed, thinking there was no way the slipper would fit her. However, as soon as Cinderella placed her foot inside, the slipper fit perfectly. The messengers were amazed, and the stepsisters were shocked. Cinderella had finally found her chance to escape her difficult life. The prince was overjoyed when he heard the news that the mysterious girl had been found. He rushed to Cinderella's home, filled with excitement to see her again. When he arrived, he recognized Cinderella immediately and knew she was the one. The prince took Cinderella's hand, and they smiled at each other, happy to be reunited once more. Cinderella's stepmother and stepsisters watched in disbelief as the prince embraced Cinderella. They had never imagined that the girl they treated so poorly would be the one chosen by the prince. Cinderella, however, forgave them, as she had a kind heart. She was ready to leave her old life behind and start a new life with the prince. The prince took Cinderella to the palace, where she was treated with respect and kindness. She no longer had to clean, cook, or serve others. Cinderella's dream of a better life had come true, and she was finally happy. The people of the kingdom celebrated the union of the prince and Cinderella, knowing that she was kind and would make a wonderful princess. Cinderella and the prince lived happily together, surrounded by love and happiness. Cinderella never forgot her humble beginnings, and she used her position as a princess to help those in need. She encouraged kindness and generosity, hoping to make the kingdom a better place for everyone. Her past hardships only made her more compassionate. In her new life, Cinderella always remained humble and grateful. She was thankful for the kindness of her fairy godmother, who had made her dreams come true. Cinderella also understood the importance of staying true to oneself, and she taught these values to those around her. The people loved her deeply, and her story became a legend of hope and resilience. The kingdom flourished under Cinderella's kindness and wisdom. People admired her for her strength and gentle heart. Cinderella's journey from hardship to happiness inspired others to believe in their dreams. They remembered that even in difficult times, hope and kindness could lead to a brighter future. Cinderella's legacy lived on, teaching love and forgiveness. Cinderella and the prince grew old together, their love only growing stronger with time. They lived a long, joyful life, surrounded by friends and family. Even as years passed, Cinderella's story remained a reminder that no matter the obstacles, kindness and perseverance could make dreams come true. And so, Cinderella's tale became a timeless story of hope for generations to come.